Hello, welcome to the After Show for episode 2 of Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, Sounds of Silence. Wow.
Wow.
Fantastic
So
episode.
that happened.
Yeah, it certainly happened.
It did.
Yeah, a lot of crazy things happened the second half of the show, that's for sure.
So, what were you tempted to do, Mathis?
With what part?
You said something about my character and you were tempted to something.
The thing I cut myself off at. The first outburst that Ava put forward, I was willing to give you a shot at taking her punishment. It was the constant lipping off of Ava, even after you were even like, stop, and she just kept going. She sealed her own fate pretty quickly after that. I was like, that's just not gonna fly.
That's why I was like, I need to wrap this up to Blood Bond. It's giving you a good thing, you know? Okay, no, there's nothing I can do. Okay.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
gonna fly. You know what? These Camarilla bitches. First of all, like.
First of all,
you know, they're about to take my brother away, so of course Ava's gonna try to say something to help him. But then they tell a Toreador, a vampire, that she's about to go to a rundown freaking train place, and oh yeah, that's where you're gonna stay now. Like, do they not know?
I like the fact that, like, there was a thing about the brother, but the train station! That's too far!
I can't stand for it.
Like,
I mean, that's like,
literally.
isn't that our like meeting place? That's not our homes. That's just our meeting place.
It's our
right?
haven. It's
our haven.
It is our haven.
It's your haven.
HQ. It's
Yeah.
Okay.
So, for people who don't know, like, the bane for Toreadors is they don't like being around ugly stuff, essentially.
So
Right,
how do we
of
work
course.
as a
They
group
need
when you're
pretty
around
environments.
Ollie and Dakota then?
Well, and it even is in like some of the places we went to, like when we were in the alleyway, I was kind of like, I internally, I think Ava was like, ugh, this is nasty. Like, you know, she's not liking it, but when it comes to a point where it's like, we have to live here or we're going to stay here, it's like, okay, that's.
I mean, but you technically, Ava's got her own apartment, right?
Yeah.
So like, she only has to just do business if she doesn't, you know, really wants to. She only has to do business out of
the thing is, like, because just a devil's advocate and be like, speak on behalf of the Camarilla. All they have is their word and punishment, because there's no police force and government and that stuff. And most of the time, if you guys were seasoned vampire players and you were lipping off as bad as you were, you'd be dead. You would just be done, because you'd be seen as a liability, Toreador or not, because it doesn't matter to the prince, or to any vampire. You fall under their law, you follow their rules, and all will be fine. And if you continually disrespect the Camarilla, you will be dealt with. And if you are seen as a liability, they don't even think about it. They don't debate it. They just remove you. They're like, why? Especially at a time where the Camarilla is slipping, their power is slipping across the globe. Those who still have power, they need to grip onto it as hard as they can and make sure it doesn't get lost. So they're not going to risk it. And your vampires, your characters would know that. You guys have been around for a year or two. It's not something that is new. However, because you four are new vampire players, I'm not going to be like, all right, new characters, because you're going to be taken, beheaded, and removed.
You're done.
No, there's a reason I wasn't lipping off.
Yeah, of course. But at the same time, like this is like my way as a storyteller to just be like, okay, here's what happens when you disrespect the law. You have to work around it. You got to think of it like mafia rule.
Yeah.
If mafia members want to take out other mafia members, they don't just go do it. They don't mouth off. They work behind the scenes. They get their pieces in place for a month or 2 months or 3 months or a year from now.
You get them to do something that you can then be like, that's an offense against me. Look what they did. Now I get to do something back. Yeah.
And you're vampires, so you have an eternity. There are vampires elders who have been planning revenge for over like a century of just placing pieces.
Oh, that sounds like Dakota.
Yeah.
so hard. She's gonna,
That's all.
I said all those things like, oh, I can't believe, how dare they? But to be honest, yes, I know that what I did was wrong and I will accept the punishment. But that is a weakness, I think, of my character. She does have, you know, she speaks her mouth. I mean, she's done it. She did it several times, even where Bub's character was like, are you really going to throw us under the bus like that? Like, you know, hold your tongue type thing. So, that's...
She lost the cool.
Yep.
But that moment, I think my favorite moment of this session was just the four of you role playing for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Where I just watched.
I know. I felt bad when players like Mathis is just saying nothing.
No, I didn't need to. But that's one of my favorite things as just a DM is to watch the characters just like completely embody the characters that they're playing. I don't have to do anything. And it was perfect too, because it was after a very stressful mission where the 4 of you were shoved together unwillingly and then left in a room by yourselves until the next day. That was the hope, was that you guys would have at least a little bit of conversation. Didn't expect to go that deep. Very happy it did.
Agreed.
It was great.
It was nice. It showed kind of where everybody stands on a lot of things, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dakota, the way Dakota talks is less Anarch, however, and much more Sabat. Which is
I know the chat was like freaking out about it. The thing is like Dakota doesn't see herself with any of them, so like she doesn't speak that way because it's some following or belief system that she holds, other than her own belief system. You know what I mean? Yep. She doesn't want to be in any system. Her entire existence is like anti.
That's very Gangrel. There is a Gangrel. His name is Jack. He's a character that's in the lore. He's in the books, and he's actually in Bloodlines, the video game. He's a Gangrel, and he's just a hunter of knowledge. And he belongs to no law. He'll follow Camarilla law when he's in Camarilla cities and all that other nonsense, but he literally belongs to none.
I feel like she's going there. I mean, the reason she hates her sire is because her sire lied to her about the joining a structure. So she agreed to be turned, and then got here and was like, wait a second, you want me to do what and join a who? No. So there's but it's okay. Dakota's also smart enough to know, having been on her own for so long, since she was like 14 or 15, even in human, even when she was mortal, to know that sometimes you have to play the system. And Dakota's really fucking good at that.
Sorry, I'm just remembering back, and I'm like, oh yeah, they branded Ava.
Yep.
Oh yeah, so do I also have like little scars all over, or just that one brand?
Just the brand.
Okay, so it's just
everything else will go when your aggravated damage is removed.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So after this session, particularly during the session, I was remembering something that you had written me about Mathis, and my Mala had said, to keep details about your previous life a secret. It'll be used against you. And I see that so much as a challenge for Ale right now, since Ale he's probably, I want to say that despite his appearance and his name, he's probably the most humane out of a lot of them.
Oh, without a doubt.
I think I would pretty much agree with that.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Define humane.
Well, I mean, I feel like if you watch the episode,
right?
Yeah, he did not want to kill. He has a family. By the way, like the saddest moment ever, visiting your son. I was like, oh God, this was so sad.
It was a really emotional moment. Definitely.
Yeah.
Good stuff, though. Good stuff.
Really good stuff. It gave a lot. We learned a lot about your character.
Yeah, I think we learned like the most about Ali. And
today was a pretty crowning moment for the backstory, but there's still heaps.
There's a lot.
There's a lot about him. I went out of my way to purposely make his story just chock full of information, and just remember everything happens around the date of August 11th. That date is so key to his character. So I thought it was interesting that I set that up and our game started on the 11th as well.
Yeah. It did.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I mean, it's cool that we have our own stomping ground, but unfortunately it's still owned, like it's been given to us.
Yeah.
What I think is funny is the Toreador she doesn't want anything to do with it because it's ugly, right?
Right.
But it's going to be one of those, by the time it's done, she's going to have it fitted to look like it's so vintage. It's like noir vintage. Retro.
It's like, it's industrial chic.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, God.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah, no, we can buy upgrades for it. Maybe we'll buy the upgrade that means like it's actually a luxury underground that's been fitted with like.
No,
all
I'm
this
gonna come in with
stevia.
like some like vintage curtains and like decorate.
I was about to say, see, Dakota doesn't give a shit about the actual facility. It's about the grounds itself, like having territory that belongs to them to hunt on and feed on. And
yeah, speaking of which, once we've hunted out the last remaining couple of people up top, do we start using that difficulty 4 threshold?
Yep.
Because that's going to be quite a tough difficulty 4. Why I have my club that I can go to.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, man. It was a good episode. I was very excited for episode 2. Like, I knew episode 1 was going to be a little slower paced. I was hoping that you guys would finish the job in episode 1, but cards fall where they may. Things happen. But I really wanted to end episode 2 with the true hook of the campaign. and I'm glad it ended exactly where I was hoping it would end. And I hope the slow build was worth the hook at the end for you guys.
Oh, for sure. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, I get the 2 things now that you said I couldn't have for episode 1, which I assumed I couldn't have episode 2 as well.
You'll have to remind me, but I think I know.
The special shotgun rounds.
Oh yeah. You have those. You'll have them in third ep for sure. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was great. There were just a lot of great moments. The moment with
Zach is so unpredictable.
Yeah, so unpredictable.
Oh, God.
Unpredictable? I thought it was incredibly predictable.
You mean by the multiple random rounds of shooting of mortals?
It had to be done.
All right.
He's not wrong.
In Zach's mind.
Oh God.
Yeah, I think my character probably fears the borderline sociopathy of Zach's character.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Yeah.
He's a liability in Dakota's minds. Just a super liability.
But he's so good. Like he's so
But he's
smart about
yeah.
everything.
That's
Dakota
exactly
doesn't
what
give a
Malkavians
shit
are.
about
Malkavians
smarts.
are like, they're a bit of a liability, but they're really useful. So,
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like Dakota doesn't give a shit about his smarts. Book smart doesn't mean anything to her. Street smart is everything. And somebody that'll just pull out a gun and shoots a mortal in an alleyway because before even getting real questions out of him, that's a liability. And he put us in this situation.
I'd say
Dakota
not a
don't
word.
play. Dakota don't play.
Not afraid to get his hands dirty out of all of us. So
I guess that's true. He clearly has no problem killing people.
yeah.
I'm happy. I'm ready for the next episode.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Like, can we play again?
I don't know. Maybe I need like 2 hours to just burn off some anger. I need like to punch a punch bag or like treadmill for like an hour or something. Like,
Oh man.
I can feel I've got this excess tension in my shoulders now that I'm like, yeah, I just want to do
There we
that
go.
boxes
See,
and just.
That's what I was missing in the end of episode 1, was ending an episode where all of you were just like uncomfortable. Uncomfortable in some way.
That's
And
what
I
I
was
want
like-
after I play games, to be
Right.
uncomfortable.
Exactly.
I like how you don't pull punches though either. With the scene in the alley when I was trying to get information, I thought you were gonna be like, well, this guy's been harassing me, and I just have to go intimidate someone. But you're like, let's bone.
Yep. No.
Oh.
Good thing you are a vampire and can't catch anything.
Right?
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
Oh God. Yeah.
Can they not catch anything, or can they be carriers?
They might be able to be carriers.
But it can't affect their physical form.
But it can.
Oh,
yeah,
sure, yeah. It's
doesn't-
all about Hopkins, not every one of his partners who he'll pass it on to. Sure.
But yeah, like the world of darkness is no good if you pull punches. You know what I mean?
But
Like,
say-
you lose the levity of it all.
Yeah.
If I'm just like, yeah, fetch quest, go, or you know,
That's it.
like
If you pull your
escort
punches,
quest.
maybe you don't like maim someone with a razor blade.
Hey, man.
True.
Accident.
I didn't do that. I still don't know who did that.
That's a
It doesn't
deep
matter.
cut.
Look, Dakota has her eyes on Ollie.
I know. I noticed.
She has got her eyes on him. She knows that if she can just get him to give in, oh my god.
Oh, I
Those
thought you meant
weapon.
like she wants to.
She's got her eyes.
There
Well, I
was a
thought she made it
boy.
clear that she has no shits about boning. That's not really in. She
Yeah.
has no.
I
interest
know,
in-
but if she
Doesn't
did,
make sense.
then that would definitely be on the cards.
Oh yeah, Ollie. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I knew what you meant.
Like I said, she has no. I guess
There-
I've never thought about it in her vampire. Like she cares only about killing men, only about protecting women, and she sees Ollie as a weapon. He is a strong. She can smell it on him, and to have somebody like that, like in her pack, would put her at a huge advantage.
See, I was going for being the political weapon, and then I got myself tortured by the Camarilla in episode 2. So
Yeah, I know. I was going for the let's suck up to the Camarilla and try to get ourselves ahead, and that didn't work out.
Yeah.
I
I didn't anticipate us being like. I didn't think we would kind of come to terms like blows at each other so early.
yeah.
But when you were like, these people, it was like,
Right? She
Hold
said
on.
that. I was like,
These street rats are sorry.
yeah, when you said that, I went,
I saw E.
It was like, this is gonna go over so well.
Yes. No,
Well,
it's all right.
Ava's-
Dakota
Ava's
won't give
gonna
in.
come back. Ava's gonna come back and be like, "You guys were right. Like, let's go."
Oh man, if Dakota has all of you on her side to say fuck the Camarilla, oh
No. If Dakota gets away, we will be dead inside of 2 more episodes.
No. I didn't say that she would do it. She would do it.
No, we're gonna do it
There are really interesting ways to
like Godfather style.
Yeah.
Like,
We can give in and do everything the Camarilla says and still be working against them.
Yeah.
All we gotta do is make them believe.
It depends how much danger we do want to bring down on the city, because you can get rid of other vampires pretty easily. But it does mean going, hi, Second Inquisition, over there. Wait, don't come over here. No, please, please.
She's not even interested. She just wants the Camarilla to leave her the fuck alone. She just wants the Camarilla not to bother her and to allow her to like live her life without the constraint of having to be under a system.
Yeah. Technically, you are. Well, when you're freed, you give. You're now given a lot of freedoms. But even if you go rogue, that's the thing about this world, is that as long as the Camarilla controls the city, whether you are part of the Camarilla or not, if you break a Camarilla law, they kill you anyway.
It's still there.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the thing. Camarilla is like the Anarchs. While they are in the city and they may be doing things, they still will do everything that they can not to break Camarilla law, because it will still rain the Camarilla down.
Yeah,
on them.
it's their country, right? You might be like, well, your law doesn't apply to me, but
exactly, it's like going from U.S. to England and being like, well, you know, I'm an American. What are you gonna fucking do? It's like, well, we're still
still do the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also the aspect of like Dakota's getting, I feel like, her first real view of like the power structure inside of the Camarilla. So you've also got her contemplating things like that sheriff. That's a position I could hold.
Yes, 100%.
Right? You know, of like, I don't have to like the Camarilla, but I can use it for my own advantages.
That's what most vampires do.
And you know what? If it means that they're going to let me kill what I want to kill and do what I want to do without somebody telling me no and scolding me like a pup, you know?
You have to rise in the ranks and take that.
Hell, fucking yeah, and she'll do it in a heartbeat.
I don't know,
too.
I was
She's got
seeing-
every person between her and the end goal.
That's what most vampires even do. Like, very few care, except for like maybe really old elders, give a shit about the Camarilla for the Camarilla's sake. It's that there's power to be had. The Camarilla's there. There's nothing they can do about it, but they can rise in the ranks and take those seats and lord over people that way.
But because less and less vampires are now being created that are considered,
Correct.
you know, worthy vampires,
Right.
there's going to be less and less like levels being added to the pyramid scheme that is the Camarilla. So people at the bottom are going to stay at the bottom even more than they used to,
Like longer.
Yeah.
which is probably contributing to the Anarch uprising. So
Oh,
either you
without
have
a
to
doubt,
like
yeah.
knock the pyramid over, or you have to just be like, yeah, I'm joining
Well,
the
I
Anarchs.
think
Screw
that's
that.
what I was talking about, or Dakota was talking about, this idea of like, it's broken. Camarilla's broken. It's like the United States that we keep thinking our government system works. Well, guess what, motherfucker?
Yeah.
It fucking doesn't.
Well, the
obviously.
flip side of it,
Like,
though,
it's not working. But the
the
Camarilla
Anarchs
keeps going.
and all like them, including the Sabbat, are really good at drawing attention from the Second Inquisition because they aren't as cohesively punished for when they do stuff wrong, whereas the Camarilla were until they started pointing fingers at people.
Yeah.
So you're much less likely to get Second Inquisition attention, generally speaking, whereas the Anarchs, because they don't properly enforce each other and stuff, are much more likely to get that attention.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, the Anarchs do have a power structure. It's just not nearly as rigid or strict as the Camarilla.
Yeah, and the Camarilla is like the same power structure, give or take a few variations worldwide, whereas the Anarchs are much more like franchise. Like each of them is like, we're all anti-Camarilla, so we're Anarchs, but we have very different power structures all over the place.
Yep, exactly.
And you talked about the Sabbat, right?
The Sabbat.
The Sabbat.
Yeah, they almost don't exist anymore.
That's what I thought. They're pretty much all at this
Yeah.
point, like they don't even exist in the West.
They exist more like small cells or like individuals, as opposed to like big
A city
groups.
might have 5 or 10 at most, 5 to 10 Sabbat. Usually, like if any, 1 or 2. But yeah, they're almost all completely gone.
And they've been wiped out by the Camarilla, I'm gonna assume.
And the Second Inquisition, because they were really fucking obvious.
The Sabbat
I
are
see.
fucking horrendously evil. They're like as evil as like eat babies evil. Like that's what that's the Sabbat.
Oh, I see. So it's not just about rebellion for them; it's about being able to.
They
live,
want
like,
to end the
a
world.
lifestyle
They want
Yeah.
to end the world, and by being like, "Hey, we're the guys ending the world. We get to be part of the end of the world, right? Is that's how that works? No.
I see.
Whoops.
Yeah, that's definitely. She may be close to spouting their.
Yeah, you said a few lines that would that would fit well in Sabat.
Yeah.
Sabat structure.
Yeah, but like,
that must be what chat was talking about.
not actually like gonna eat babies and end the world evil.
Right.
No,
You're not there.
She's
she has her own. She has her own code. Dakota has her own code. That's really.
Again, the great part about all this is we're only in episode 2, and there's a bunch more episodes where your character.
Oh my god, we have so much Vampire the Masquerade to play.
Yeah, but we might only need new characters, give or take, a few episodes. So we spent a lot on the art. Can we not do that?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, don't die.
Try not to die.
Don't die.
Listen,
Ava won't speak anymore.
This is your obvious slap on the wrist. Take it as you will and progress onward.
Yeah.
I can only do so much when it comes to like slaps on the wrist. So.
Yeah.
How did he know the phone was mine?
He didn't necessarily know.
I was like, he didn't do anything. And Dakota's like, yes, he did. I was like, damn it.
I was a bit like, this is not. Just everyone should just shut up and let me take the punishment. This is fine.
But it was fun. Great second episode. The ball is officially rolling.
Oh boy.
And we're in front of it about to get crushed. Let's just try and get behind it.
Or to the side of it.
Ball. Don't kid yourself. Dakota knows where to put herself. Behind the ball. Rolling it.
I think Dakota wants to be away from the balls as much as possible.
Or chasing it.
God damn it.
Yep. Goddamn.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.